I think oh, did I? Is there a way to remove the waiting room and then everybody just joins now, or we have to keep
I
as
already, I
waiting?
already, I already let everyone in, and I'm gonna remove the waiting room.
Okay.
Hello, Edu. Is my audio okay?
Hey,
Yes.
yes.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Jemima. Can you rename yourself, please? Or do you want me to do that for you?
Kindly. Thank you.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear
No.
her.
Is that better?
I can, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you rename yourself? You're named as Habali,
Oh,
or do you want me to? I can rename you.
kindly. Why is that? Thank you. Kindly help me rename it.
It's weird that we don't have many people yet, right?
I did take some time in the waiting room, and it kept
We,
saying that the host needed to let me into the meeting. I don't know if that is what is happening with the rest.
no, because it would show here a waiting room and we removed the waiting room. Laura, did you join? Did you register?
No.
No, okay.
Edu, you should start. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. All right, so welcome to our training. I'm Eduardo, part of communications team from HNI. And so let's get going. I think brief instructions on interpretation.
Hello, everyone. This is me, Laura Ravello, HNI Communications Officer. Um, I'm going to read out the interpretation instructions and some housekeeping. We have interpretation in different languages today, in Spanish and in Russian. Um, if you go to the bottom of your screen and you click on the globe icon, uh, a drop-down menu will appear and you will be able to choose the language of your choice, have it be Spanish or Russian. The training will be held in English. If you have any issues, please write them out in the chat. If you have any questions, you can also either raise your hand or write your question in the chat. Okay, so I will be passing it over to Edu, who will be leading the training today. Edu, over to you.
Thank you. We're actually going to have a quick introduction from Jemima, our international coordinator. So Jemima, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Welcome to this final and important session in our training series. We initially planned these online trainings to support the advocacy toolkit that was launched in October last year. And between February and March, we successfully conducted around 5 sessions. And I'm pleased that a majority of us are here today, those of us who have been following in that training. And I believe that we clearly now understand that this toolkit was developed to support HomeNet International with the campaign on the ILO C177. So this resource is also designed to guide workers and their leaders in the implementation of the campaign with a specific focus on the advocacy efforts, even as we realize the different categories that the campaign took. So to conclude our training today, we will briefly review the campaign that we have been running on ILO C177. We will also discuss the different progress categories of the participating countries. We will then dive into the social media toolkit, the reason as to why we are here, and we will explore its crucial role and how to use it and why it is very necessary that we have it. So I wish all of us a very productive discussion and also strongly encourage that we make it very interactive. And thank you so much also for prioritizing this training and joining us in the call. I will now take this opportunity to welcome and give it back to Eduardo, who will be our facilitator for the session today. Thank you and welcome everyone.
Thanks, Jemima. All right, so let's get started. So the training. So a quick overview of the session. The idea today is that you leave this training understanding a little bit more about how social media can strengthen your advocacy efforts. So we already do a lot of advocacy online, in person, during events, global stages. So this is just to help get social media, just to help you more on your daily advocacy efforts. Also, the idea is that you leave this training knowing how to use this toolkit that we put together in a very simple way. It's a very simple tool, and that's the idea, that it keep practical, keep simple. With the toolkit, you'll be able to create clear and engaging posts and messages that we already created for you, and you can simply adjust or tweak. So this ready-made content is already there for you. Adapt the messages. So we're also going to show here how you can adapt the messages we created to your local context. So they are already made, but they always have room for adapting and to adjusting to each one's realities. And also to feel a little bit more confident. We know that sometimes we're all a bit afraid or we're shy to share stuff online and to just put ourselves out there. So the idea is that you feel more comfortable with these tools, and then by feeling comfortable with them, you're also going to feel more comfortable to share this advocacy content, which is going to help you amplify workers' voices, which is our goal always at the end of the day, just amplify everything that workers are doing globally. So why did we created this toolkit? Pretty much because of what I said before. Not everyone has time or the resources to create content, to engage on research, designing, copywriting, just ideation of what has to be done. So the idea is just we give you everything already created for you to just use it, share with people, and have more people engaging in the conversation. Also to support affiliates always, that's what we're here for, to support affiliates and workers on everything that they need. And we're going to support by providing these posts that are ready, these visuals that are designed by professionals, key messages we had research, we set together hours and hours to come up with the best copy that encompasses all of our key messages. And also all of this content, it's going to ensure what? Consistent messaging. So it's going to be nice to see all of the regions using the same identity, the same hashtags, going for the same key messages, for the same struggles that we're always talking about. So further in the training, I'm going to share some examples of consistent posting and messaging for you to have an idea of how important it is that we're always on the same page. And then at the end of the day, of course, as I mentioned, amplify the voices of home-based workers globally. So that's basically why we created this toolkit. A quick recap about this campaign that's going over a year already. The Home-Based Workers United towards ratification of ILO C-177, labor rights, social protection, decent work. So this is the global campaign that HNI has put together a year or two ago. And this toolkit is part of this campaign. Just quickly recapping here, the campaign has 4 goals. So the first one, of course, ratification of ILO Convention 177. But sometimes we know if we don't get the ratification, what else can we get? So even if it's not ratified, we can try to go for development of policies. Policies can help home-based workers and is a great tool already. But sometimes a country already has policies. So another goal of the campaign is just to the improvement of policies that already exist in a specific country. And at the end of the day, if none of this is possible, we're trying at least to get some guidelines or rules created, which shows interest in helping home-based workers. And then sometimes a guideline might become a policy that might become a set of policies that might push for a ratification. Another thing I wanted to bring quickly here is the campaign hub. So I'm going to show in the live demo in a few minutes our website and how to access the campaign page. But we have a hub with a lot of resources. We have explainer videos that we created on ILO, explaining what is the ILO, the International Labor Organization, the difference between a recommendation and a convention. We have toolkits like this social media toolkit. We have a lot of booklets. So there's a lot of good resources that everybody can use to better equip themselves when doing advocacy. So this hub is something new we did for the first time for this campaign, and I encourage everyone to take a look. Great content there. And then a little introduction about the role of social media. So I think social media is one of the most powerful tools we can use because not always we're able to go to a specific event or to be in that country for that march. But social media allows us to do advocacy and to fight for our fights from our homes through our phones. So it's a very accessible way because it's cheap and most of people now, they have access to phones and internet. So it's like one of the easiest ways today to just raise visibility of workers' realities and demands, help influence policymakers because now everybody's online, so you can quickly reach to people from a government or another organization or policymakers or journalists, and also build solidarity because we're able to just connect with other regions, with other organizations, with other workers. And all of this, it creates opportunities for engagement. We can comment on a post, we can send a message. And so it's a democratic way to just reach out to people and get the conversation going. This is why we created a toolkit for social media, which encompasses Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and so many others that we're going to be talking today. Now I'm going to share some examples of what successful advocacy looks like for us to have a visual idea of what we can use social media for. So this is a campaign from Charity Water, and it's a beautiful video about Mami, which is Mami's from Sierra Leone, and they show their stories. So not only they show what happened to Mami's community when they got water for the first time in their lives, clean water, but they also show their story of the community, the story of her story. So it connects the audience and it connects us to their life, to their story. And this is very powerful. That moves people. And that's what makes people take action and support a cause or join the fight. It's connecting with stories and people. So this is a great example of how they manage to share what they do with the impact of it. This is an example from HNI, which is also connecting the workers' daily lives with rights. So this is Evans. He's from Nairobi, Kenya, and that's his home, and that's where he works with soapstone. So the message here is this is a workplace and rights should get there. But most people, they don't have any idea that there is events behind that souvenir that they bought when they travel. They have no idea where events work and what is his working conditions. So social media is also a nice way to try to show people the behind the products or the services or the behind the scenes of things that they might take for granted. This is a post from the International Labor Organization. It's a little bit different. You see, there's not like a strong image, but there is a strong message, very graphic. Decent work should be a reality for everyone. So clear and simple messages that people can quickly understand why they're there. There is a little bit of imagery below, but it's clearly is not the protagonist of this post. So this is another kind of post of social media, and we're going to use some of those in our toolkit. And then just to be consistent, as I mentioned before, it's important that you're always posting and being consistent. So now let's go to the live demo. I'm going to go through HNI's website and show how to navigate the content of the toolkit, how to copy and paste captions, how to download images, and then how to adapt the content. It's a very short demo because it's a very simple document. So I'm going to show everything and then we can open for questions and open for discussions. So quickly, just to show a little bit of all of the pages of the toolkit, how it looks like. We have some instructions. We have one page for each content that we created, and then some useful links. All right, so this is HNI's website. This is our current website. We have our impact stories. We have this global campaign, which is the one we're talking about. So if you go to the global campaign page, this is the global campaign page. And as I mentioned, so we have about the campaign, the goals that I talked a little bit earlier, all of the countries that are participating. We have 14. And this is the campaign hub that I mentioned. If you go to the campaign hub, we have a lot of resources, as I already mentioned. You have the campaign name, the videos that we created for it, the booklet about guiding the convention, the recommendation. And then we have the social media toolkit here that you can download in English, Spanish, and Russian. I'm going to open the English version. And then it opens a PDF. It's a simple document that can be shared on WhatsApp. You can download to your phone. You can download to your computer. And then now I'm going to go over all of the pages. This is the cover. We have some instructions, which is pretty much what I'm going to be doing here live with you. But whenever you're doing it by yourself, or if you're sharing with someone that wasn't here today, these clear instructions explain how to engage with the content of the toolkit. Here in the very first post, we also have some quick instructions here. So explaining that you can, on your computer, download any image by clicking on the right button and selecting Save Image, which is doing this, and then Save Image, and on your phone as well. So I'm going to go quickly through every page, and then I'm going to come back and work with it and interact with it. So these are all posts that we created with images and copy. So you have why is an ILO convention, what is an ILO convention, and then the copy here. An infographic about what C-177 does and stands for and protects, so very rich in information. We have posts about specific parts of our booklet, so defining employment relationships, why does it matter, written contracts, and so many other parts of the booklet and the convention itself. We have some posters about protecting home-based workers, so stand with home-based workers, recognize home-based workers, and a strong message at the end, and also using real images now, since before it was mainly illustrations. We also have another poster that is about activities So we say, for instance, stand with shoemakers or support piece rate assemblers or protect embroiderers. So here we mentioned the specific activity of home-based workers. And then one final poster, which is about the rights we're always fighting for. So safe working conditions or freedom of association. So each poster mentions a specific right that we're always mentioning. And then I have the resources again from the hub. We're stressing to put these resources wherever we can to make it easier for you to access. We have some videos, we have the explainer illustrated videos. And then the last page, some hashtags that we can use to connect all of our content and useful links to make it easy for you. So the campaign page, a direct link, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our social networks. So this is the main document. Let me get now one of the posters for us to test and just use it. So let's say I open this document and I want to post something on our Facebook. Let's choose this poster here. And then if you click on it, it opens the big image. And then once this image is opened, what you're going to do is just like you download any image on your computer, on your phone. You're going to click with the right button on your mouse, and then you're going to save image. Once you saved your image, it's going to be in your computer. So here, for instance, in my downloads folder, you can see that the image is saved here.
Sorry, Edu, we're not seeing your computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're seeing just the toolkit.
Okay, let me share my entire screen then. 1 second. Okay, so here's the image saved on my computer in the downloads folder. So we go back to the toolkit, and then in the page from the poster that I just downloaded, we have a copy. So there's a copy for every post that we do. To use this text that we produced, you can just select everything with your mouse. And just like you clicked with the right button to download the image, you're going to do this again and you're going to copy the text, right? So now let's say we're going to share this on Facebook. I have HNI's Facebook page open here. So you would go to your Facebook app on your phone, on your computer, or your LinkedIn, or whatever social media you use, even WhatsApp. And what you're going to do is I had a test here happening before. So you're going to create a post, and then if you click and paste the text, it's simple like that. So protect, recognize, support, stand with home-based workers. It's time to ratify ILO Convention 177. Then we have the hashtag here already. And then join HNI in making decent work a reality for home-based workers. And this is the link that goes to the campaign. So let's say, for instance, you want to adapt this text and say, I don't know, stand with home-based workers in Argentina. So you can just adapt and you can just use this text as a base to add more information if you want, or just leave it as is. Now you're going to add the image. So if you go to add an image here, it's going to show your computer where you saved the image or your phone. You can simply select it and post. I'm going to remove this in Argentina because this content is in English. And then if you share this, and post, and it's done. You had the image with HNI's message with a nice title, a pretty picture of Patricia, our sister Patricia from Chile. The copies here, we're using hashtags, so it's an interactive and a strategic post, because then we can track all of these posts if we click on this hashtag. So you see, we've posted about this campaign before. Once you click on the hashtag of the campaign, you can see in one place all of the posts that were done about it. So that's very simple. I'm gonna do it one more time, and maybe this time I'll do in a different channel. Let's say, for instance, our LinkedIn. So I'm gonna get, I don't know, let's see this one. Why Social Security and maternity protection are essential. So I click in the image, I save the image. Then I go back to the toolkit. Where is it? Here we go. So I get the copy that we wrote for this. You see this one's a little bit bigger. Copy. Then I come here and I'm just gonna adjust to make it easier to read. So no worker should be left behind, especially not when sick, pregnant, or old. But many home-based workers are excluded from social protection schemes because they're not formal employees. HNI C177 campaign says home workers should get health care, paid maternity leave, pensions, and unemployment support. We demand systems that work for all workers, employed, on accounts, or in informality. Access to Social Security means protection. And then this is their call to action that we put in almost every message. So join HNI in making decent work a reality for home-based workers. We're gonna add the image here that I downloaded. It's here, Social Security. And then post. So this is the same if we're using any social media, if you've ever used Instagram, or I know some affiliates are on Instagram or Facebook, no matter where, the flow is usually the same and very simple. You create a post, you add an image and a text, and you share it. So, of course, we're going to open for questions and we're going to talk about everything I showed now. But before we go through this, I just want to do a quick poll here on Zoom, understand which platforms you use the most. You can only choose one. So I want to know the platform that you use the most. If you choose other, then we can go ahead and discuss about it and understand which one is it in the chat after. So please let me know if you see the poll and then just choose quickly. You can answer which one you're using. Okay. I think we have everyone, almost everyone. I'm gonna leave another 10 seconds to reach 1 minute and then we can end the poll. There we go. Do you see the results? So we have majority using Facebook, some people using Instagram, no one on Twitter or LinkedIn, and 2 people answered that they used another platform. Whoever answered that uses another one, can you write in the chat which platform you're using most? All right. So now that we know that Facebook and Instagram are the most used, I'm glad I did the first demo with Facebook. Let's go to let's try to interact a little bit and have some insights together. So I just showed the toolkit and I used it. And of course, me doing looks very simple and easy. Sometimes it's not like that when you're doing it by yourself. So I want to know, what are the challenges you face when trying to post online? When you're trying to share something on social media or even WhatsApp or, I don't know, email, whatever. Do you find any challenges? Do you remember sometimes that you tried to do something you couldn't achieve? You can please raise your hand to speak, or if you want, you can write on the chat, and then I'll be updating the slides.
Lilosa has her hand up.
Oh, but I'm sorry, but we don't have Portuguese interpretation, but okay,
Eu vou
maybe
escrever no chat.
Ah, Dinha, pode escrever então, e aí a Vero ou eu, a gente consegue traduzir a sua pergunta. Ou se você quiser falar também, Dinha, eu traduzo no chat em inglês. Pode falar se você quiser. Dinha, pode falar se você quiser, viu?
É que eu lembrei que não tinha interpretação para o português, e aí eu falei, vou escrever no chat, mas posso falar aqui?
Pode, eu traduzo, eu traduzo.
Tá. É, a gente publica no Instagram e vai direto para o Facebook, né? Linkado um com o outro. E a dificuldade que a gente tem é, mesmo a gente colocando as hashtags, é mais o alcance, né? Tem vez que a gente paga pelo alcance, né? Mas quando a gente não paga, a gente tem que ver grande dificuldade no alcance, mesmo a gente pedindo para as pessoas compartilharem e tal. E com relação ao que você apresentou, eu vejo uma dificuldade assim, com esse material, porque ele só tem tradução para o português, ou para o português, não, desculpa, para o espanhol e para o inglês, né? E aí a dificuldade para a gente seria estar transformando todo esse material em português para a gente utilizar.
Tá. So Edileuza mentioned that they share a lot of things on Instagram and Facebook because these two networks, they're linked, they're connected. So if you share something on Instagram, you can also share on Facebook automatically. You don't have to do anything extra. And she said that even when they do that, and even if they're using hashtags, they have a really hard time in reaching a lot of people. Sometimes they reach very few people. And then the other thing she mentioned is that the toolkit currently has no translation to Portuguese, which makes it difficult for affiliates in Brazil to use it. So let me gather more comments or answers, and then we can discuss about all of them together. I see there's a message in the chat. Okay, so Sammy from, I don't know, Sammy, but this is her comment that the posts aren't reaching many people. If the content is too large or confusing, might lose interest. Good. It's harder to get proper reach without posting the post.
without paying money to boost the post. Yeah.
Good. What else? Try to remember when you're what type of audience you follow also affect reach. Nice. Tahajud. Hope I said it correct. All right, so let's discuss a little bit about these points that you guys raised, and then we can go to the next question. So a lot of people here talking about reach and being hard to reach a big audience. I understand that sometimes each organization or each affiliate we don't have, or even our personal accounts, we don't have a lot of followers, we don't have a lot of engagement. But that's where consistency enters the room. The algorithm, of course, if you pay to boost a post or if you pay for a campaign, that's a different algorithm, that's a different story. They have to deliver reach and impressions because they're paying for it. But there's a lot of content that gets viral, that gets more attention, even being organic. And by organic, I mean not paid. So that's why it's important for us to be consistent. If we're posting a message consistently, engaging with your community, that means, for instance, if HNI shares a post and we are always very consistent online, and everybody answered that they're on Instagram or Facebook, it's important to engage with us, engage and like a comment on our post, engage, like it, share it with your own message. Because if we start seeing this, we're also going to do this with your accounts. And then us as a community, we can support each other and engage on each other's posts. For instance, if we have everyone here from this training liking our post online, it's already 35 likes, which is more than we usually get. So I understand it's a bit frustrating, even for us, that we might have a little bit more followers than people usually do. But we can't let the low engagement rates affect us. We have to keep fighting. If we go, for instance, to an international event and we do a march, we organize a demonstration, and nobody shows up, we're not going to give up. We're going to do it again. We're going to show up again. We're going to go to another event. So this is also a little bit of the mindset that we must have when dealing with online. Somewhere, sometime, somebody will be looking at us and our post and our message is going to get through. The fact that we don't have translation to Portuguese, we started with Spanish and Russian. We might be able to understand if we have budget to translate the document to another language. But I'll message you, Dinha, privately, because since I'm from Brazil and I speak Portuguese, I can help you guys translate some of the posts, even if it's not the structured document to start with, but I can help you get some posts translated to Portuguese so you, Attendo, can share. I know Attendo has a good presence on Instagram, and you guys are always sharing invitations and content, so I'll prepare some for you in Portuguese since I can help with that. About the content being too long, I agree with you. That was something that we had to take into consideration because this campaign talks about something very specific and very complex. You know, it's a convention from the International Labor Organization. So how do we break down this content into easy pieces? And that's what we try to do, for instance, with the posts from why tanana is important. We got a very dense and heavy booklet full of information, and then we broke down. So we have one single post for the ratification, one single post about employment relationships, one single post about written contracts. So that's what we try to do. We try to create content that's meaningful and relevant and dense, but we try to make it as light as possible for social media, not to scare people. And then, of course, one content, one post will never be perfect for everybody. So we might have a post that's a little bit longer, and then maybe someone that's part of this world, a policymaker or a worker, a leader that goes to IOC, this post might be interesting for them. And then maybe for an audience that's not part of the movement as much, something lighter like the posters with a very short caption, that might be the best post for them to engage with. Now, I think the type of audience you follow that also reflects on your engaging, on your reach. I think that's a little bit what I mentioned about being a community and helping each other. Us, HNI, we are an international organization working with home-based workers. We follow almost all of the organizations from the labor movement, other sister organizations, other allies. We're always interacting with their posts, commenting. So try to make ourselves visible within the community that shares a lot of interest with us. So yes, it makes sense. And I think from these answers, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't know if someone else added more to the chat. I don't think so. Let's go to the other question, which is, which platform would you choose to post first and why? So let's say you opened after we finished this training, you sent this toolkit to all of your friends or allies and comrades from your organization. You send this PDF on WhatsApp to them, and then you're going to do your first post today, right after this training. Which platform would you choose? It doesn't have to be one of the ones that I mentioned. It can be anything else. So just please open your mic and say it, or just leave it on the chat, and then I'm gonna ask a little bit more about this. Which post and why did you choose that? So Marilyn says Facebook. Estefania, Facebook, and TikTok. Whilst other people answer, I'm going to ask Marilyn. Marilyn, why did you say Facebook? You can type in the chat, or if you want, you can open your microphone and speak. Easy to reach. You mean like it's easy because you have the app on your phone and you use it constantly, so it's something that you're familiar with. It's an application you're familiar with. Because everybody has Facebook, yes. Praba. Facebook, because most members are there. Cheating also said some on TikTok. Nice. Anybody else wants to share which? Tahajud says, first choice to post on Facebook. In our country, Facebook has its visibility. Also use Facebook from an earlier age when we get involved in the first time. So Facebook is a social media that you have presence for a long time, and it has good visibility.
Edu, Edna has her hand raised.
Oh, please go ahead and jump in,
Portuguese, right?
Edna, and I can translate. Edna, pode falar e eu traduzo depois.
Oi, bom dia. Aqui no Brasil, o Instagram é a que mais tem engajamento, né? Aquelas pessoas que respondem mais o que você posta. O Facebook é uma pesquisa feita, as pessoas visitam mais o Facebook, porém elas engajam mais o Instagram. Mas o que eu ia falar assim, é que independente, cada rede social tem um perfil de público, né? Aqui a gente usa o TikTok de vez em quando. Mas uma coisa que eu queria observar, Eduardo, que você falou sobre essa questão do engajamento, né? Tem uma questão que eu acho que a gente fica muito refém, que é a questão do algoritmo. O algoritmo parece que cada dia ele quer uma coisa diferente. Né? Então, eu sempre tento seguir o que tem de novidade no algoritmo, como é que ele está se comportando, mas é difícil. Porque a última vez que eu fui fazer um curso, né? Ele agora vai soltar mais posts de relevância. Mas o que é que o algoritmo considera como relevância? Porque tudo que eu posto eu considero relevante. Então, acho que a gente fica meio que também refém quando se trata de engajamento, né? De ter maior visibilidade, maior alcance, a gente meio que fica refém. Meio não, a gente acaba ficando refém do algoritmo, que a gente nunca sabe dessa vez o que ele quer que a gente faça, né? E aí fica difícil.
Show, Edna, obrigado. So Edna said that in Brazil, and for their organization, they see that Instagram has more engagement. Facebook, a lot of visibility, a lot of people on Facebook, but Instagram, they get more comments and more likes. And then she also mentioned that we are in the hands of the algorithm, right? And then they're constantly changing what the algorithm finds relevant and prioritizes when pushing your post to other people. And then she says that everywhere she reads about, or even courses that she took on social media, they say that the algorithm only shares with other people what it finds relevant. But she said, I find everything I post relevant. But the thing is, it has to be relevant to the algorithm. And how do they measure this? So if you share a post within, the algorithm shares this with a small group of people. And then depending on how this small group of people will react to your post, it shares with a bigger audience. So if you test your post with a small group of people and nobody commented, nobody liked, the algorithm understands what? It's not relevant to your audience. So it's not going to share with more people. That's why it's important when you see posts from first of all, that's why it's important to follow your allies, your friends, your organizations that you like and that you interact with. So if you go to an event, or if you go to a seminar, or if you go to a meeting or to a march, it's important to just follow everyone that's in the same struggle, in the same fight, because then when they share something, everybody from this circle will be able to see and comment and share and post. And then the algorithms, little by little, start seeing this as more relevant. I'm not trying to give here a recipe on how to succeed because it's not easy. I'm just trying to explain a little bit how the algorithm works and what we can do in our very short power position that we have towards it. It's a constant battle, but again, we can't give up and we can't stop posting. We can't stop putting our voices out there. Um, I think this was good for me to understand a little bit how you guys see the social media and your impressions on how it deals with it. Now, I just want to ask if anyone has any questions. Let me create a new slide here and just put Q&A questions about demo. Anybody has any questions about the demo that I did, copying the content? You want me to go back to a specific part, or how to find the toolkit on our website, how to save an image again? Please feel free to type in the chat your question, or open your mic, raise your hand. We're here to just interact with each other and discuss. So please go ahead. Let me see in the chat. Titing says, hi, Titing. All the people have the Facebook, and often to open the Facebook WhatsApp, we have many contacts of the policymaker in WhatsApp, stakeholder and affiliates are net. Yes, this is a really important point, Titing, because we know that when we go to meetings, even if it's online meetings or events, we always get WhatsApp contacts, and we have them saved on our phones. I'm not saying for you to bombard and send and spam the WhatsApp of someone you met. But if there's a really relevant message, or we're launching a new campaign, or you have this beautiful post full of information, and you want to invite them to join the campaign or to share something, that's something you can share with someone if you have a good relationship with them. They know who you are, you exchanged phones, contacts. So WhatsApp is also a really good social network that we can use.
Stefania also left a comment on the chat about Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you. So Stefania said it's a platform with a larger audience and everyone uses Facebook. Yes. Similarly, TikTok is gaining a larger audience these days. It's easy to access these platforms and engage with audiences. Yes, so again, Facebook, it's the mother of all social networks, right? It was the very first one. Everybody is there. And even us at HNI, we see that most of our affiliates, where they engage the most is Facebook. For instance, we don't have Instagram. We have LinkedIn. We very few affiliates are on LinkedIn, almost none. But Facebook, everybody's there. And whenever we engage with a campaign with a partner, let's say, for instance, now on May Day, we did a joint manifesto. We joined the manifesto from Clean Clothes campaign. They were on Facebook as well. So we can't deny the importance of Facebook. Agilosa asked if the files from the images of the toolkit, if they're heavy and large files. No, they are in a good quality, but they are optimized for social media and for internet. So they are not large. You see, like this image I downloaded, it has less than 1 megabyte, 900K. So they're fine. They're not heavy at all. This one, the illustration has 154. That's nothing. So don't worry about it. And then again, if you download something to your phone, you can always delete it after you share it online. So it's okay. Since we're opening for questions, I'm gonna just try to share my phone as I tested before. But I don't know if it's gonna work. I just wanna show you how the toolkit looks on a phone. Can you see it?
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
Now it is. Yeah.
There you go. So this is how the toolkit looks on the phone. This is my phone. And so basically you can just go through it. You can save the PDF and share with your friends on WhatsApp. And then if you click on an image, for instance, this one, it's going to open the image. And if you tap, let me see how it's going to work here, because there you go. If you tap on your phone, then you're going to see the options to save. Mine is in French, but you would say something like save picture or salvar imagem or descargar imagen. No sé cómo se dice en
Yes.
español.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then you save it, and then you go back to the toolkit, and just like you do, let me see here. On your computer, you're gonna do on your phone, and then copy and just share the same way. So it's very user-friendly for phones as well. We have here again the instructions on how to do it on your phone. So to download an image, tap and hold your finger on the image. That's what I did now for you to see. And then you can just select the text. Like we select a message you want to copy on WhatsApp or anything else. So it's very the same actions and tools that we use on our daily routine. I know everybody's on WhatsApp, write messages, copy, paste. So it shouldn't be something that's far from our daily activities on the phone. Let me, if no one has any questions about the demo, let's continue with the presentation. And then I'm just gonna bring it to Laura for us to
Sorry,
start.
Edu, there is a message on the chat.
Oh, sorry. Primar from the Philippines. Some problems that were encountered by the home-based workers in using Facebook is that their Facebook account were hacked by some notorious hackers, that they lost their Facebook account. Whoa, that's very specific, Primar. And I think what I can say about this, because it's not my expertise, is that whenever we have accounts on social media, just to be careful with your password, try to choose a strong passwords, and try not to access your Facebook from public devices, such as a computer in a library or a computer in a printing place. So I think these are some important actions to take when protecting your accounts. Using a strong email also, and a two-factor authentication, which is when you try to log in and then it asks you to share a code from another device. But yeah, hackers, they're out there and we have to be careful, but we can't stop using social networks because of them. We just have to maybe try to better equip ourselves. So thanks for sharing this. And I'm sorry, I hope they were able to get their Facebook accounts back. So I'm going to move forward and ask Laura just to go over quickly our key takeaways that we want to wrap the session with. Laura, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Edu. So yeah, key takeaways for this session, and thank you, Edu, for making this session so comprehensive. What I take away from this session and from hearing what our home-based workers, sisters and brothers have mentioned in the chat, is the following. I think that social media is one of the avenues for advocacy. If you were a part of the other toolkit, the advocacy toolkit, we mentioned it there that social media is just one part that can support in your advocacy efforts. It's this avenue, it's this route that will help make, workers' realities more visible. It can also support, and by, creating this public support and connecting between organizations, between allies, nationally, regionally, and even go as far and beyond as we go in home and international to do it internationally. The key takeaways that Edu has on his screen are very simple, are very to the point. For social media content on your either if you use this toolkit or if you design your own strategy for your advocacy efforts, the key here, as Edu has mentioned so many times, is to keep it consistent and simple. For example, H and I, we try to post at least twice a week with simple messages, and we're very repetitive in our key messages. So this regular posting, even though it might be time consuming for some of you to do this, but it's what may make this a little bit more successful than what it is right now for some of you. So consistency and clear and simple messaging. I would personally constantly add the same key messages, the same key hashtags and key messages constantly throughout your messaging. And you don't need to start from scratch. We have this toolkit. It gives you already these ready-made posts, the visuals, and the messages. So this will save time, especially for those who are a part of the campaign or who want to join the campaign. You can definitely take this, use it, and adapt it to your national or local realities. And, just try it to do it, and confidence comes with practice. So if you don't start doing it constantly, then you won't practice enough and you won't learn the little, key things from social media. You need to do it, you need to practice. Another thing that Edu mentioned was to focus on real stories, to link, those everyday experience of home-based workers to, whatever it is that you're fighting for. Have it be to protect the rights of home-based worker, to expand on policies, or even to go as far as to advocate for ILO C-177. I know that, Edu has these beautiful posters with real photos from real home-based workers. And that's that match, that these are the real faces of home-based workers. And we have that text that explains who they are, what they do, protect embroiderers. You can also add, you can adapt the text, you can share a little story about that person. So adapting it and focusing on the real stories from your reality, that human part reaches people. And that your voice matters, sharing your context, helps amplify workers' voices locally, nationally, and internationally. You did mention some challenges, which are all very real, the challenges that you all have, and the different, where you decide to put your messaging. What I can say about this is that to think about the audience that you want to reach. If it's your members, and if you feel like that your members are mostly on Facebook, and the message that you want to send out is to your members, then continue on Facebook. But if your advocacy is trying to reach other stakeholders, policymakers, government officials, sometimes they're not on Facebook, or they might be, but they might not be paying attention to Facebook. They could be on LinkedIn. They could be on other social media. So it's something that you might want to look into as to where the people that you're trying to reach, this audience, where are they? For example, if you create a LinkedIn account, a lot of the policymakers are there and government officials are there. So it's a question of just searching for these people and, asking, and trying to follow them to start creating these links. And yeah, I think that if you have any additional questions, the H&I Communications team is here to support. You can definitely reach out to us individually, to Eduardo, to myself, if you need additional guidance on social media or on any other communications aspect, and we'll be very happy to respond and try to support as best as we can. I'm going to request Edu to share on this chat the link to the social media languages in Spanish and Russian and English. And also, we will be sending out an email tomorrow to everyone who registered for this event, where you will have the links of the social media toolkit as well as the hub and the recording. And you can also share this recording with your affiliates so they can make use of this information. So I think that's it. And over to you, back to you, Edu. Thank you.
Thanks. I just shared it on the chat, the link to the hub, and then there you can find all of the resources and then also download the toolkit in Spanish, Russian, and English. So if you scan any of these codes, if you're not already in our regional groups, you can join the WhatsApp of the regional groups where we constantly share key information, events, and everything else that's relevant for affiliates. And I just want to add something that I forgot to mention. We created these beautiful visuals, we have pictures, but we love also to see your perspective. So everybody who has a phone, just if you're posting about protecting shoemakers and that rights should reach their homes, and you are a shoemaker or you know one, or there's like, if you go to your affiliates and just take a picture and share this picture with the copy, you can always mix and match. You're not obliged to use the visuals we created. We'd love to see these messages being mixed with real images taken from affiliates. So from your perspective, tomorrow, yesterday, whenever, I'm sure all of you are always, besides being a home-based worker, you're always surrounded by home-based workers and going to meetings. So just leverage your phone, taking pictures and matching these pictures with the written content that we provided here as well. I want to thank you, everyone that joined. I hope it really helps. We remain open for supporting you, answering questions. We might be creating another training specifically on LinkedIn, especially because I saw no one apparently is there. But I think as Laura mentioned, when trying to reach government officials, policymakers, which are so crucial and important part of our campaigns, I think that's where they are, or at least that's where they are listening. So this might be something we in the future we'll put something together. For now, I just want to thank you, say that we remain open for answering questions or helping you using the toolkit. Please use it. Please share with your friends. And we'll see each other in the next time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Let's take a group picture, shall we? If everybody can turn on their cameras before leaving. All right. Oh, wait, we still have more people joining. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.